What's up, Discover Crypto fam? Kelly Kellum here. We're going to break down the last coin that I bought and the next one that's on my radar. I'm looking for the perfect entry. What is it? Well, I actually broke it down for all of you that have been tuned in over on my Twitter, and that is Bittensor. I jumped into this at $232, and I'm going to show you exactly why, and also why I think this next coin also is set up for a major move. Because you saw I got in at 232, but currently Bittensor is up here at $377. When you actually zoom in on this, this is that area that I got in right here. If we zoom in on this a little bit tighter, you'll see that the price action on Bittensor came down off this rejection and found beautiful support on this 382 right here, this fib, and I got in right about right here, $232, only to see massive explosive move to the upside that went as high as about 67, almost 70% to the upside, with a small little bit of a downturn now. So should I be getting out? Should I be exiting this position? No, in fact, I actually just added some more to my position the other day on this small, little bit of a drawdown here, and I'm actually looking into get a little bit more. Now, why is this? Why would I be going so aggressively into Bittensor right now? Because we saw the setup, I broke it down for you all. We talked exactly about why I was gonna do it, but I wanna share this with you, the Disco fam, for those that aren't tuned into BitLab Academy on a daily basis, and that's this right here. Bittensor could be more impactful than Bitcoin, according to Barry Silbert. Now, of course, sometimes these statements and this sentiment might be a little bit skewed based on investments, based on different things that people are, where they have their money and their interests and how they might be aligned. But I agree that Bittensor is going to be one of the most impactful AI plays this cycle, because it's not just a singular AI play. It's an AI ecosystem. If you tuned in, I think it was about a week ago, DZ did a beautiful video on Bittensor breaking down some about the fundamentals about what Bittensor is. And like Bitcoin, like altcoins, like the crypto ecosystem is rising onto the scene of people's excitement and awareness and this idea about what's possible. Bittensor straddles a couple lines. Bittensor is a blockchain play, of course, but it's also an AI ecosystem play. So while this feels like it could be a little bit of a hopium, let's actually dive in a little bit deeper. Right here, this is what's important to me. Bittensor, in contrast, is positioning itself as a coordination layer for all of it, all of this AI ecosystem. Despite raising several $100 million combined, these projects, these other projects mentioned above here, these singular AI, only singular focused projects, they essentially do not have what Bittensor has produced and what it's actually capable of producing in the future. Because in Bittensor's case, they have subnets, and one of these is shoots. And the reason why this is important is because when we're thinking about an ecosystem and a speculative money play, then you want to make sure that there's a broad array of things, a broad array of appetites that an asset can satisfy. In this case, shoots. Massive subnet, and essentially, if this was valued just on what it's doing alone, it could be worth somewhere between 10 and 15 billion dollars. And we know that the Bittensor ecosystem, the market cap is so minuscule comparatively of just this one subnet that's actually a part of Bittensor. So I think there is an overwhelming upside to come in Bittensor. Furthermore, we can also see, look at this chart. It's a lot of sideways action in this area of the last year and a half, that we saw this massive sort of semi-altcoin market, but then the market broke down, and then another mini altcoin market and the market broke down. But this is when things are about to get interesting. And I'm gonna show you why, because when we're looking at the charts, when we're looking at the excitement, when we zoom out on this and we realize that there's so much more to come in this ecosystem, and this is just now having this explosive rally, actually leading most of the alts in this from the bottom to this nice push to the upside. This is only really entering the foray of the AI excitement zone, that where money is getting interested in this ecosystem. We're seeing, nation states, we're seeing corporations, we're seeing House of Representative Congress, we're seeing across the world discussions about blockchain, about AI, about what AI is going to displace and replace. I think there's so much upside here. So when I'm looking at this chart, yes, I got in a little bit right here, but I like to strengthen my position on buys that I feel like are very winning trades. So when we see this on the 3-day, nice move to the upside. But when we look at this on the 1 hour, we realize, yeah, we had the pullback, but this is looking incredibly strong. At the current moment, this is looking like it's getting a little bit overheated. So especially today, Monday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, I would be a little cautious between now and the end of the week on all assets, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Avalanche, Bittensor Tau. I'd be a little cautious between now and Sunday next week because there's so much going on this week, especially with the FOMC meeting, whether we're going to get rate cuts or not. I do think there's going to be a lot of traps in both directions, but I'm looking at this. I added more to it. If this does dip back down, especially if it comes down here, I would say sub 349, especially sub 340. I would be looking to move a little bit more aggressively into this. Now, another coin that I am so excited about, which I held a while ago, I cut the losses. I chose to manage some risk on the downside and limited some of my positions. I consolidated. Well, now I'm looking about deploying back into some key assets. And in this case, Injective, I feel like is one of those coins. Why? Because it's got so many different aspects of the TradFi excitement narrative, as well as what we're talking about with AI. In this case, very simple. Sometimes if you don't know, you can just type it into Google here and it says Injective is a layer 1 blockchain focused on finance and Web3 innovation, and it does incorporate AI capabilities. Now, what's exciting about this with Injective is this is right on the cusp of the total 3, basically your altcoins, looking like they are getting very primed for this major run to the upside. So yes, we're just looking at Bittensor Tau. Yes, we're talking about potentially getting into something like Injective. And we're also seeing the broader market within crypto looking like it's setting up for that big leg up. That's why we're trying to talk to you all, the Disco fam, about what we're stacking into and what we're preparing to stack into. So Injective, let's check it out. The blockchain built for finance, access to unlimited tokenized assets. So it's in that RWA narrative. Stocks and freedom is it's on one unifying lightning fast network. So of course, this is not a sponsored video by Injective. This is sponsored by my feelings, looking at the due diligence about, guys, we got to get excited about what's coming because the world is about to come on chain. We're looking at Ondo. We talk about that so much on this channel. Chainlink, another one that I can't wait to stack more into. But when we're looking at this and we're talking about Apple, when we're talking about Amazon, when we're talking about Microsoft, look at this. There's the post. Injective has done the impossible. Starting now, anyone can access Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Netflix stocks entirely on chain for the first time ever, all essentially via Injective. So we got some bullishness. It's writing the correct narratives that's getting a lot of attention in the crypto ecosystem right now. When we look at the charts, let's just take a quick peek at what we're seeing. We do have this downtrend. It's basically bouncing, ping-ponging, support, resistance. Oh, it broke out. But then look at this, came back in, came right back down to the same level of support. And we're sitting here teetering on the edge of if this wants to make this bullish move now, or if we're going to get one more test to the downside. For me, it's a little bit irrelevant because I feel it in my bones. The altcoin market is going to have its day in the sun. Now, is it going to be this week? Is it going to be getting closer into August when some of this hopefully stablecoin legislation and the Bitcoin Act, the charts are starting to look primed. We just need to be a little bit more patient because this is looking, although it looks like it's getting rejected at this basically descending level of resistance, which has been both support and resistance, it's getting rejected. But this is also starting to look a little bit like a bit of a head and shoulders here. If that were to play out, then we'd be looking for that next move up, probably targeting somewhere in this range right here where there's been all of this rejection, support. This would be that area that I'd be watching. And I don't mean watching like it's going to be the end of the run. It's just that sometimes people see the breakout and they get overexcited, but they're too late and they buy up here only to have a necessary retrace to the downside. They sell out only to have the market reverse and actually have the continuation to the upside. As it stands right now, I'm very excited that I got out somewhere in this region over here. And, you know, at the time it felt like, well, you talked about it here, you're getting out here. Well, let's look at what actually took place. We see the price action went to a 69% discount just by de-risking, consolidating into other plays. And then now we're getting the reversal. Nice rounding bottom, a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders. Injective, in my opinion, looks primed to make that next move to the upside. So stay cautious here. I'd be looking for entries if we do get any dips here. I do think that Injective is going to be one of these major plays as we step in to this next leg of this market, especially when all the altcoins heat up and when new retail enters this market. That's all I have for you today. stacked into Bittensor. I'm looking for Injective. I got my eyes on a few others. I'll be bringing you more videos this week. While DZ's out gallivanting around on his honeymoon, congratulations to him. And of course, Josh is over in Dubai making some incredible partnerships for other things coming here on Discover Crypto. That's all I got for now. Make sure you protect your crypto, protect your future. Get Arculus.com. Use the best crypto cold storage solution out there. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.